$185,220. That is a champion's check waiting at the end of the Cincinnati Open draw this week, and Alex Eala has never played this tournament in her life, not once. She was supposed to compete here last year, but a shoulder injury took that opportunity away from her, making this her Cincinnati debut at just 21 years old, and as a world number 20, walking into a tournament she has never experienced before with more than $1 million waiting at the far end of the draw. But here's the part that does not make sense. That champion's check may not even be the most valuable thing waiting for Eala in Mason, Ohio this week. In fact, it might not even be the second most valuable thing. If you ask me what Alex Eala can truly walk away from Cincinnati with, my answer would not be a trophy, and it would not be $185,220. It would be a two-digit number that most fans have probably never thought about for even a second. And the craziest part is that she does not need to win the tournament to get it. She may not even need to reach the second week. So, is Cincinnati really the biggest financial opportunity of Eala's career? Or is the money actually the least interesting thing on the table? There is an even stranger question underneath all of this, because when I mapped out her section of the draw name by name and round by round, I discovered something that completely changed my view of what this week could mean for her season. There's a version of Cincinnati where Alex Eala loses early, and somehow that could still turn out to be one of the smartest things that happens to her 2026 campaign. It sounds crazy, I know, but that is exactly what I'm going to break down. First, we need to understand why this specific week could be the closest thing to a zero-risk opportunity on Alex Eala's entire 2026 calendar. There's a mechanic in the WTA ranking system that puts Alex Eala in a position almost nobody else in the Cincinnati draw is in, and it is something television coverage will probably never explain to you. Second, we need to look at exactly how brutal her draw really is. Anisimova, Noskova, Pegula, Rybakina, Sabalenka. I am going to break down every one of those names, round by round, along with the head-to-head records, and some of those numbers are seriously ugly. And third, we need to look at the one thing Alex Eala can carry out of Ohio, whether she wins 6 matches or just one. The asset that will not appear on any prize money list, ranking table, or statistic sheet. Because to understand why this week could matter more than almost any other week of her season, you first need to understand how the WTA ranking system actually works. Here is what most fans never learn. The WTA rankings operate on a rolling 52-week system. That means every week, you are not simply adding new points. You are also watching the points you earned during that same week 1 year earlier drop off your ranking total. Those points disappear whether you return to defend them, miss a tournament because of injury, or simply choose not to play. Let me make that concrete, because this mechanic is a foundation of everything we are about to discuss. Imagine you reached the Cincinnati semifinals last year and collected a huge number of ranking points. When this same week arrives the following year, those points come off your ranking total regardless of what you do in the tournament. That is a part of the ranking system that can completely change the stakes of a tournament before a player even steps onto the court. So, to simply stay where you are in the rankings, you have to reach the semifinals again. Not improve, just repeat last year's result. If you lose in the second round, you do not stand still, you fall. That is a position most of the top 20 players walked into Ohio with this week. They are carrying a ranking debt, meaning they have points to defend before they can even think about climbing. Alex Eala is not. She withdrew from Cincinnati in 2025 because of a shoulder injury, so she has 0 points to defend here. 0. That means every match she wins in Mason is a straight addition to her ranking total, with nothing being subtracted from Cincinnati. Think of it like this. Almost everyone else in that locker room is running up a down escalator, while Eala is running up a normal staircase. The effort may be similar, but the result is completely different. Now, let's set the table properly, because the context matters. This is the Cincinnati Open, a WTA 1000 event staged at the Linda Family Tennis Center in Mason, Ohio, from August 13 through August 23rd. The champion earns 1,000 ranking points along with a $185,220 winner's check. Aryna Sabalenka is the number 1 seed, while Iga Swiatek returns to defend the title she won here in 2025. The entire top 10 is in the field, so this is not some simple tune-up tournament where the biggest stars are taking the week off. This is the final major test before the US Open, and Alex Eala arrives as a number 17 seed, the highest seeding of her career at this level. There's also a small detail behind that seeding that often gets overlooked. Eala moved up because Karolina Muchova, Victoria Azarenka, and Jasmine Paolini withdrew due to injuries. And being seated inside the top 32 at a WTA 1000 gives her one specific advantage. Exactly the kind of advantage her body needed most after a demanding stretch of the season. A first-round bye. She does not play in the round of 128. She enters directly in the round of 64, giving her extra days of rest during one of the most demanding stretches of her career. And what a stretch it has been. Alex Eala arrives in Ohio having won 7 of her last 8 matches. She captured the Mubadala DC Open in Washington, becoming the first Filipino to win a WTA Tour singles title, and she did it by defeating the defending champion, the 2nd seed, the 3rd seed, and the top seed along the way. Then she traveled to Toronto and reached the 4th round of another WTA 1000 event. That incredible run of form helped propel her from world number 28 to a career-high world number 20 in roughly a week. Now look at the entire picture. A career-high seeding, 0 Cincinnati points to defend, a first-round bye, the best form of her career, and a full top 10 field, meaning the biggest possible ranking rewards are sitting right there for her to chase. On paper, this might be the best tournament setup Alex Eala has ever had. And if that framework just changed the way you look at a tennis draw, that is exactly what I make these videos for. Follow the channel, because the numbers I'm about to show you in the second half are the ones that made me completely rethink this script, and I would rather you know them now than stumble across them weeks from now. Because here's the problem with everything I have just told you. The entire picture starts to fall apart the moment you actually look at who is standing across the net from her. Let me walk you through this draw name by name, because it gets tougher with every round, and it starts with a serious problem. Alex Eala enters a round of 64 against the winner of Elena Gabriela Ruse and Magdalena Linette, and Ruse came through, which is arguably the worst possible outcome for Eala. Ruse may be ranked number 77 in the world, but the ranking gap means very little when you look at their history. The two have played once before, in the 2024 US Open qualifying rounds, and Ruse won that match in 3 sets after Eala took the opening set, with a final score 3-6, 6-1, 6-4. That leaves Eala within 0-1 head-to-head record against a player ranked well below her. And Ruse is not arriving in Cincinnati without confidence. In Toronto last week, she found herself down 0-4 in the second set against Peyton Stearns, then completely flipped the momentum and won the set 7-5 to close out the match in straight sets. That is the kind of opponent who keeps fighting even when the scoreboard starts going against her. So here's the first question. Eala is a number 17 seed and Ruse is ranked number 77. On paper, that looks like a mismatch. But why does that ranking gap mean almost nothing in the round of 64 at a WTA 1000? Hold that thought, because it becomes even more important later. Now, assume Eala survives. The next round gets significantly more dangerous. Amanda Anisimova, the world number 9 and a 2-time Grand Slam finalist. An American playing on home soil in the final major tournament before the US Open, with a home crowd behind her and plenty of motivation to make a deep run. And here's a detail that makes this matchup even more fascinating. Eala and Anisimova have never played each other. Not once on the WTA Tour. There is no head-to-head record, no established pattern, no previous match to study from personal experience, and no lived memory of how Anisimova's powerful, clean ball striking will feel across the net. Eala would be walking onto that court against one of the cleanest hitters in the sport without having ever faced her before. That is not a simple mismatch on paper. It is a completely unknown matchup, and at this level, that can be extremely dangerous. That is a coin flip in the dark. Now we reach round 4, and if Alex Eala gets there, the opponent could be Linda Noskova, the 2026 Wimbledon champion. This is where the draw stops being merely difficult and starts looking cruel. Eala has already played Noskova twice this year, and she lost both matches. But it is not simply the fact that she lost, it is how she lost. At Indian Wells in a round of 16, Noskova won 6-2, 6-0, giving Eala just 2 games in the entire match and a brutal bagel in the second set. Then came the Berlin semifinals, where Eala put up more resistance but still fell 6-2, 6-4. The result was the same. Noskova walked away with the win, and Eala was left searching for answers. So here's the second uncomfortable question. If Noskova has beaten Eala twice in the last 6 months, including one match that was essentially a straight sets demolition, what exactly is supposed to be different this time? 6 months is not a long period of time to completely solve a matchup that has already gone against you twice. And after that, the draw moves beyond individual matchups and into the absolute ceiling of women's tennis. The projected quarterfinal opponent is Jessica Pegula, the world number 3. The projected semifinal could be Iga Swiatek or Elena Rybakina. And the projected final could feature Aryna Sabalenka or Coco Gauff. In other words, some of the highest-ranked and most dangerous players in the world are sitting directly in Eala's projected path. But strangely enough, none of that is a layer that concerns me most. Here's what does. Go back just 13 days. Between Washington and Toronto, Alex Eala played 8 matches in 7 days. Read that again, 8 matches in 7 days. 5 of those matches came during her title-winning run in Washington, followed by 3 more in Toronto, including a 3-set battle against Katie McNally where Eala rolled her ankle in the second set and had Filipino fans around the world holding their breath. She somehow won that match, extending her winning streak to 7 straight victories, the longest streak of her career and, at that moment, the longest active winning streak on the entire WTA tour. Then came Belinda Bencic. Eala lost 4-6, 0-6 in just 73 minutes, and suddenly the physical cost of that incredible run became impossible to ignore. That is how long it took. Alex Eala landed just 46% of her first serves, won only 35% of her second serve points, and managed to win just 27% of her return points. Belinda Bencic did not need any drama and did not give Eala an opening. In the second set, Eala won 0 games. Afterward, analysts covering the tournament made an observation that stayed with me. Eala looked like she was on the brink of burnout. That was not a fan reaction or some exaggerated hot take. It was a sober assessment of people who watch professional tennis for a living. Now stack everything together. She has an opening opponent she has never beaten, a potential round 3 opponent she has never faced, and a possible round 4 opponent who has already beaten her twice, including one match where Eala won just 2 games. Beyond that, some of the highest-ranked players in the world are waiting deep in the draw, while Eala is coming off an exhausting stretch in which she played 8 matches in 7 days. She is also coming off a match where she failed to win a single game in the second set, and now she is making her Cincinnati debut just 16 days before the US Open at a tournament she has never played and in conditions she has never experienced competitively. So that is the picture. And I have to ask the obvious question. If everything I have just told you is true, why did I open this video by saying this week could change her entire career? Because I've been focusing on the wrong number. Forget the $185,220 for a moment. Put the trophy aside. Forget the draw. The number that could actually matter most to Alex Eala this week is **16***. 16, not the winner's check and not even the 1,000 ranking points, but a seeding position. Let me explain what could happen if Eala breaks into the world's top 16 before the US Open begins on August 30th. At a Grand Slam, there are 128 players in the main draw and 32 seeded players, but those seeds are not treated equally. The top 16 seeds receive a major structural advantage when the draw is created. They are separated from one another, meaning a player seeded inside the top 16 cannot face another top 16 seed before the 4th round. Say that slowly. If Alex Eala enters the US Open as a top 16 seed, she will be protected from facing another top 16 player until round 4. And that changes the entire mathematical shape of her path through a Grand Slam. Right now, Alex Eala is ranked number 20 in the world. As a seed in the 17 to 32 range, she can be drawn against the top 16 players early as a 3rd round. That is a difference between a protected path and an exposed one at the biggest tournament in tennis, played over 2 intense weeks in New York. And because Eala has 0 points to defend in Cincinnati, she does not need a miracle to move closer to that top 16 cutoff. She does not necessarily need to beat Jessica Pegula.